It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look in the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow.
And welcome to A World Gone Mad, Holiday Spirits, everyone. I'm Jeff Allen Wolf, your host, and it is Season 1, Episode 48. Hope you're getting ready for the holidays or trying to get in the spirit or decorating or have already decorated. And sorry for the delay of this podcast episode. As I let a lot of you know, that because of the holidays, it kind of put me a little bit behind. And so here we are, finally, with a new episode. And thank you very much. And I want to thank, I had asked for people to send me an email. It was very important, and only a handful of you did. Only a handful of you helped in my request. And I want to thank those handful for taking the time to send me an email. We're going to talk more about that with some potential problems with Facebook and links for the podcast getting to you. So again, to those small handful, thank you so much. And here we are. And with the state of affairs going crazy, everything going topsy-turvy in the chaotic world of Donald Trump, we have some issues, don't we? And Mitt Romney talked to CNN and talked about the state of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And he said a lot of things that when I initially heard his conversation with Jake Tapper of CNN, I took offense to. And I want to play you the clip in total. It's a 2-minute and change clip. Please listen. Jake Tapper, one of those days, right? Jake Tapper, CNN, and Mitt Romney, Senator Mitt Romney, talking about politics today, and see what you think, and then I'll come back and give you my commentary on it.
You said in an interview a few months ago that, quote, there's a good chance that the Republican Party is going to need to be rebuilt or reoriented, and that you want to have a voice in the post-Trump Republican Party. Do you think that do you still think there's going to be a post-Trump Republican Party, or is MAGA now the Republican Party?
Oh, MAGA is the Republican Party, and Donald Trump is the Republican Party today. And if you were to ask me who the nominee will be in 2028, I think it'll be JD Vance, all right? He's smart, well-spoken, part of the MAGA movement.
You said something pretty harsh about him a few months ago, though. You could not have less respect for somebody than JD Vance.
Long ago. I'm not going to rehash history. And we've worked together in the Senate since then. But I you know, that is what the Republican Party is. And will the party need to change? Look, the Republican Party has become the party of the working class, middle class voter. And you've got to give Donald Trump credit for having done that, taken that away from the Democrats. Democrats pushed him out, all right? The Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren faction of the Democrat Party with some of this, you know, defund the police and transgenders in, or excuse me, biological males in women's sports. These things had a lot of people in the middle class just flee the Democratic Party. They're now Republicans. Now, one of the challenges in my party is that our policies do not necessarily line up with the interests of our voters. And so there'll be some reorientation that's going to be necessary in my party. The Democrat Party is the one in trouble. I don't know how they recover. And, you know, I'm not going to tell them what to do because I would begin to have the capacity to do so. But they've lost their base. Union guys and gals have left the Democratic Party and are voting Republican. And the Democratic Party is seen not as rich people, but as college professors and woke scolds. And that's not an attractive feature.
I'm not sure I agree with anything, maybe one thing that Mitt Romney said. It's true that the MAGA people are the Republican Party. No question about that. They've taken over the Republican Party top to bottom. When Tapper asked Mitt Romney what he thought or who he thought would be the nominee in 2028, and Romney responded, JD Vance. He's smart, he's intelligent, etc. That got me, I don't think so. And then Tapper said to Romney, well, you said a lot of negative things about JD Vance a couple of months ago. And Romney shot back, well, that was a long time ago. A couple of months ago is not a long time ago, Mitt. Okay. He also said the Republican Party has become the party of the working class American. No, it hasn't. It never has been the party of the working class American. They keep saying that every year. They want you to believe that, but that's not true. The Democrats were the ones who stood for the working class American. Also, Romney then said an antithesis to that comment, yet the Republican policies don't line up with the American people. What the hell? You just said they were for the American worker. They stand for the American worker, yet the policies don't line up with the Americans in general. You got a problem there. And then he says the Democratic Party is in trouble. The Democratic Party is no longer seen as rich people. I never saw the Democratic Party as rich people. Have you? Yes, every party has its rich people. We've always seen the Republicans as the rich elite people. The Democrats were not the rich elite people. He said the Democrats are in trouble. I don't think they're in trouble. I think the Republicans are in trouble. The Democratic Party is in disarray. We need new leadership. We need new voices. We need a younger outlook and vision, and we need to fight differently than how the Republicans fight, or rather how we fought in the past. We need to match the Republicans in the way they address the American people. So Romney's commentary to Jake Tapper is completely skewed and completely wrong. And we need to regroup. That's where we stand at this moment in time. How do you feel?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Cheating, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Cheating, bling, bling, patent pockets.
So the Congress sneaks in a pay raise for itself into the spending bill as Americans struggle to make ends meet. That's right, members of Congress are slated to receive a pay raise for the first time in 15 years if the massive spending bill, released by House leaders Tuesday evening, clears both chambers in its final form and is signed into law. The 1,574-page bill, known as a continuing resolution, CR, contains language allowing for a cost of living adjustment, otherwise known as COLA, which would give members of Congress a pay raise for the first time since 2009. This pay increase for Congress comes as many lawmakers' constituents are struggling to make ends meet as inflation has skyrocketed under President Joe Biden's administration. Now, lawmakers currently earn a base salary of $174,000 a year annually. Oh my, they're in poverty, with members in leadership receiving a higher salary. Now, if Biden signs this into law in its final form, members of Congress are set to receive a maximum increase of $6,600 due to a 2025 COLA cost of living increase of 3.8%. Okay? Do you know what the cost of living increase is for Social Security starting January 2025? A lot of you do, most of you don't. Some of you are on Social Security, some of you aren't. But if you are, guess what? 2.5%. That's right, people. 2.5% to keep up with the cost of living. Our COLA increase is 2.5%. Congress, 3.8%. That translates to approximately $25 to $50 more a month. Woohoo! I now can get a Kentucky Fried Chicken dinner for my family each month with my cost of living increase at 2.5%. Big whoop. Unbelievable. Congress gives itself a pay raise when they're already making $167,000 a year, and yet the cost of living increase for Americans is $25 to $50 each month. And those of you out there that are struggling now are not getting relief with that lousy $25 to $50 increase, right? Congress, big shame on you over your heads for this one. So let's switch gears to Matt Gaetz. We know about Matt Gaetz was supposed to be the Attorney General for Donald Trump. And everyone was up in arms, and finally that never happened, and he stepped down. And there was an ethics report going against Matt Gaetz, and it was going to be released, but Gaetz decided to step down from Congress. Therefore, no point for an ethics report, supposedly according to the Republicans. And they put it up for a vote, and the Republicans blocked the vote for the Matt Gaetz ethics report to be released. So Gaetz is gone from Donald Trump's administration as Attorney General. He is gone from the House and Congress, although he can come back and next year decide to do it all again. And the ethics report is squashed. Well, in a stunning reversal, key House panel members vote to release the Matt Gaetz ethics report. Whoa. That came out of left field. The House Ethics Committee secretly voted earlier this past week to release its report into the conduct of former Matt Gaetz before the end of this Congress, according to multiple sources with knowledge of this matter. This report is now expected to be made public, thank you, after the House's final day of votes this year, as lawmakers leave Washington for the holidays, the sources are saying. So here is the bottom line. What changed the minds of some Republicans to vote with Democrats to release to the public the sexual allegations, the drug use, the supposed allegations against Matt Gaetz, with all the witnesses, etc.? I don't care what your favorite podcast is. Hopefully it's my podcast, but I don't care if it's Midas Touch or CNN, regular news, what they say. I don't care what actually happened. Were the Republicans so put up and pushed against the wall that they were told, you've got to be kidding me, you're quieting this report about Matt Gaetz, you better release it? What deal making was made? This is fascinating. Did something change? Because remember, Donald's in charge, going to be January 20th. They have Supreme Court, they have the House, they have the Senate, they have everything they need. Yet, the Republicans reversed gears and is going to release this report to public. Something is going on behind the scenes. I wish we knew what it was, but something is happening. You know, the thick plottins. With that taking place, this makes this story or news information even more magnified. They just had a ruling in the Georgia, case against Donald Trump with Fani Willis, Fulton County District Attorney, if you remember. And she was prosecuting Donald Trump, and they were putting up the case for the appeals court to find out if she needs to be disqualified from prosecuting Donald Trump because of the affair she had with her attorney, etc. And all of that rigmarole. And obviously that's silly because she's the main prosecuting attorney. She's the district attorney against Donald Trump in this state case. And for her to be removed is silly. Well, the Georgia appeals court ruled she's removed. What? Georgia appeals court disqualifies Fulton County DA Fani Willis from prosecuting Trump. A Georgia Court of Appeals disqualified her from the case against President-elect Donald Trump and his alleged co-conspirators in the 2020 election. This long-awaited decision is a state criminal case against Trump. It was already on hold, and this hurts the ability of the case to move forward in court. Well, we still have the evidence against Donald. The problem is, though, she's the lead district attorney. She's the lead prosecutor, and she's now removed, and she cannot take part in this case. The fix is in for Donald Trump. It seems like it, except in the Matt Gaetz reversal under the ethics report, the fix is in. You cannot touch Trump. Every case is being pushed away. Every decision every wrong problem of his nominations for all the key cabinet posts. The fix is in.
Batter up, hear that call. The time has come for one and all to play ball.
We're the members of the All-American League. We come from cities near and far. We got Canadians, Irish ones and Swedes. We're all for one, we're all American.
I love that song. Remember that movie, A League of Their Own, Penny Marshall, about the All-American Women's Professional Baseball League, the WPBL. Great, great movie. Anytime it comes on, I stand there in front of the TV and I watch it. I think I've seen it like 800 times. Tom Hanks, and all the great cast of women, Madonna and Gina Davis, and on and on. Well, guess what? After decades competing in a man's world, female baseball players could soon have their own stage to shine. The Women's Professional Baseball League will make its debut in 2026. That's right, marking a grandiose leap forward for women in the U.S., channeling the spirit of Penny Marshall's iconic 1992 film. Women's Professional Baseball League is back. How cool is that? In the constellation of baseball, a glimmer of justice seems to emerge as women players who have battled against gender barriers for years to play in a sport traditionally dominated by men may finally be on the verge of having a pro league to call their own. From Julie Courteau, who made history by playing on a men's university team, to Justine Siegel, a trailblazer in coaching Major League Baseball teams, women have charted their paths in this field. Though often facing countless hurdles and holding on to the hope that professional women's baseball would one day come to life. So guess what? Women's pro baseball starting in 2026 back, just like the Women's Professional Basketball League. Bravo! A bow to the ladies. This is going to be fun to watch. All right, holidays are here, coming up. And I ask every one of you to please send me an email with your opinions and any feedback you have to wolfpacklistener@gmail.com, WOLFPACK. P as in Paul, ACK, listener@gmail.com. Also, I'm having some problems with Facebook. A lot of you are texting me and saying on the Facebook group sporadically you're not receiving a lot of the posts. So please, I'm asking, not the handful, but everyone else, if you're a member of the Wolfpack, if you listen to this podcast, send me an email with your name, how you're listening, and just say Wolfpack if you're a member of the Wolfpack. If you're not, ask me for the link, and I'll make you a member of the Wolfpack. But I need to take an accounting before I'm blocked from all avenues to get the podcast out to you. Can you do me that favor? Holiday Christmas coming up. I will be releasing another episode in a couple of days before Christmas. Thank you for your indulgence in having this one delayed. I'm your host, Jeff Allen Wolf, for A World Gone Mad. Until next time, stay hopeful.
There